My YouTube friend, this is Non-Mechanic here, and today I'm working on a 2007 Ford Taurus, and what I'm doing is I'm replacing the water pump. Please watch my last video while we came to the conclusion of changing the water pump. This car was overheating. Also the weep hole on the water pump was leaking. So watch my previous video how I came to the conclusion of changing the water pump. Now, before you start working on this water pump or anything, you want to make sure that your car is nice and cold. This is early in the morning. This car has not been started, so it's nice and cold. And because if you work on a hot engine, you're going to burn yourself, especially if you have coolant here and you try to open this reservoir. The water the coolant is going to splash on you and you're going to get burned. So make sure you do that. Use safety, use gloves, use safety glasses, and let's get to this because this takes a little while. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to remove this jug. We're going to move this bottle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these clamps out. Make sure that it doesn't have no coolant. Now if it has coolant, make sure you put something in the bottom to collect the coolant. This car only has water on it because we was diagnosing it, so I know there's no cooling in there. So what we're going to do is first we're going to press these things in here. I'm going to move it to the side. That's one. I'm going to also do this one. Okay. Once you do that, what you have to do is just pull them. Take your time. You don't want to break it. Take the other one. You also pull this one. There you go. That's two. Now you have another one in the bottom down there. I'm gonna see if I can do it while holding the camera. You know what? I have something longer. Okay, you want to squeeze this one too. So what I'm gonna do is, because this is when I need my daughter. What I'm gonna do is just gonna press them in and use both hands to do it. And what I'm gonna do, press it, push it back, and I'll be right back. Friends, I took out the clamp that was holding it. Now you have to hold there. So before we take that out, what we have to do is remove, I don't think this is the original, we have to remove that Phillip, and also we have to remove this one here. But what I noticed is that the metal piece on it is broken, so it is not holding. So if you have it, you have to remove that. So we're gonna remove this Phillip. It's already loose. I mean, this flathead one, it's already loose. Okay. Okay, now once you take that out, you see right there, the box is inside a hole in the fender. So you have to find the hole to get it out. And once you just get it out, it's out. Once that's out, sorry for all the spinning. What you want to do is take this hole out. Have this little hook here. Sometimes you can just pry a little screwdriver through it and get it out. Okay. Okay, I have the camera right there. Actually, what you want to do is just hold it and pull it. Okay, oh, it has a little water on it. So here we go. We got it out. You want to pick up these holes right here because it's throwing water. Just pick them up, place them somewhere. That's water, it's not antifreeze. So you know what, I'm just gonna let it empty out because it's just water. So now that we have taken the jug out, we want to take the water pump bowls right here. You want to do this first before you take out the belt, and that looks like it's between a 12 and a 13. Let me see, let me grab the 13. Let's see, 13. Yes, it is a 13. So we want to take those out first. Loosen them up first. I'm using an open wrench, if I can get it. Okay. Gotta see how I set up this tripod if I can do this whole job. You know what, let me find a way to set up this tripod and I'll be right back. So we want to loosen these up first before you take out the belt, because if you take out the belt without taking this bolt out, it's going to be hard, because what's going to happen is it's going to spin on you and you can't take them out. So these are 13 millimeter, and I'm using an open wrench. I'm going to loosen them up first. That one was loose. 2, 3. Okay. Okay, once you loosen those out, the next thing you want to do, you want to take the belt off, and the tension is down here. Tension is all the way in the bottom. Let me see if I can. The tension is right in here. So I'm just trying to give you a good view. So this is the tension in here, and what you're going to use is, you're going to use a 15 millimeter, and you're going to put it right in here. Sorry. You're going to put it right in there, and you're going to go down, and what you're going to do is take the belt off. Okay? So once you put the 15 millimeter, what you want to do is go clockwise, push it down, and just pull. Just take the belt off, and the belt will come off. Remember, if you don't have the routing, make sure you draw it or you Google it, and it should come out. Okay? So, you take the belt off, take this whole belt out. And goes the belt, put it safe, inspect your belt, make sure that it's good, in case we have to change it. So the next thing, let's take these out. Take them out. Make sure you put them in a safe place, because when I did my car, the first time I did my car, this is not my car, I had the same car, I misplaced all the bolts and nuts and everything. do it by hand because you already loosen it up. This is what actually the water pump is at. It's right behind it. Oh, there goes one on the floor. Well, good thing is in the floor. Once you take the last one out, what you want to do is, you can see that this pulley is cracked right here. See it? That shouldn't make no difference, but it's cracked. What you want to do is just put them all right in there. Let me get the last one. Okay, it's in the bottom. So now that we have taken that out, we want to take this one off right here. You want to remove the idler. You want to make sure you know where the sequence is at on it. I believe that can also be a 15. Let's see. Yep, it is a 15. Same thing. Take that off. Make sure you save all the nuts, everything. Look at it. Take pictures of it. Okay, you have a washer in the back too. I'm going to show you. Make sure you save those. You keep it the same way it is. See that? Right there. You want to make sure you keep this. This is the way it goes right in there like this. See that right there? You want to keep that. Okay, keep everything together. Let's create what? An assembly line. Okay, we almost home base. So we have this hose here, so we have to remove this hose. Let me see if you can see it. We're going to remove this hose out of here. That's where the water pump is at. Just the clip. Okay, we removed it a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to remove this out of here. You want to make sure you put some, see how rusty it is? So you want to make sure you put some liquid wrench or something. Things just nice and rusty. So we're going to be removing with like this motor mount right here. Loosen this up. We're going to loosen up the alternator. You want to make sure you know where everything is at. Let's disconnect. Let's disconnect the alternator. What you want to do is, when you disconnect the alternator, I'm trying to give you everything for you won't miss nothing. The alternator is right here. So you want to press this right here. So I just use this. Also make sure you disconnect your negative battery, the negative cable. You press this right here. Disconnect it. Okay? So disconnect it right there. Now let's start removing this bulge. So we're gonna remove, should we remove this one first or should we remove this one? Let's see what's back here. It could be a 15 or 13. Okay, that's a 13. Let's see what we got over here. All I did was I put this 15 socket to hold it, and what I'm doing, I'm using a 13 millimeter open wrench. All I'm doing is holding it there. Just make sure you know where that bracket is at. So it was a 15 there. It's that it's so rusty, that's why we couldn't get it in there. Alright, you just want to have something here to hold this, or it won't be moving. And what I did was I just put a 15mm socket to hold it, and I used my 13mm open wrench, and I took it out from the back. It's right there. Just make sure you know how it goes. Keep them together. Okay, keep it together. All right. Next thing we want to do is remove this out of here. Let me see if my impact gun works on that. It looks like a 15. It is a 15. Let me see if my impact gun falls in there. Fits in there. And it does. There you go. What I did was, this is a 15mm. I use a regular 15mm socket with my earthquake to remove it right away. So we're gonna pull it. All we're doing right here, we're trying to remove, take the alternator, move it to the side. I can see there's another bowl down there. I don't know if you can see that. It's another bowl right here. We're gonna have to remove that. Let's see what it is. Make sure you keep everything together. Let's put it here. And now it looks like a 12. Let me see. It's a 13. To speed it up, I'm gonna use my ratchet with a 13mm. You're probably gonna have to remove that whole bracket out of there. Okay, that one goes there. So we should be able to pick this up and move it to the side. And before we do that, we have to, we can push that bracket back. Yeah, probably just leave it like that to the side. Just move it to the side. All right, what's next? So we do have to remove this whole bracket here. So we got one more. That's a nut down there. So we have to remove. So we have to remove this nut right here because it looks like it's going right into the water pump. So if everything else is a 13, this is probably a 13 too. It is a 13. I'm gonna use my open wrench just to loosen it up. That's a bracket there, yep, it's a 13. Remember, this one goes here. Put it in there. This one goes here. The reason why I'm putting all the bolts and everything back is because when I did my last job on this one, that it was mine, it was a couple of years ago, I misplaced all the bolts, all the nuts, everything. And I went crazy trying to get them back together. I eventually did it, but it took me a little while. So you want to make sure you know, okay, so that bracket is out. There goes the bracket. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this nut right back in there if I can know where it goes. And just remember that it goes like this. Okay? What I'm gonna do is, if I won't lose this one either, I'm gonna put it there just to hold it. And I know that one goes there. Okay, we home base almost. Okay, it looks like there's a bracket here. All right, first let's remove this. You can see that? Let's remove this hose out of here. So let's squeeze this, bring it up, and you see how tight it is in there? Because it's so rusty in there. So I'm using one of these pliers right here, and all you have to do is just go press it in and move it little by little. And it should be loose. You don't want to do it too hard that you break the hose, and you're definitely going to need a hose. Okay, so that's out. Let's move this to the side somewhere over here. Okay. All right, let's go. So this is your, oh, you can hear it. Once I take it out, you'll see. So there you go, we removed that. There's a bowl in this side. I don't know what it is. Let me just show you. Right here we have to remove it. There's a bracket in there. And you see there's a nut in there. So if everything's a 13, that also might be a 13. Let's see. Yep, it is a 13. Okay. Just remember where everything goes at. I don't know where that bracket goes at. It looks like it's going to the AC. The AC compressor. Okay, there it goes right here. 13. Do we remove it? How we remove that out of there? Look like I'm gonna have to remove the other one that's down there just to take that bracket out. So we got the bracket here. There's another bolt in the bottom. You could take the whole tensioner out. You need a T45 for here. I do not have it. I wasn't able to take out the bracket out of there. So a friend of mine is gonna go get. We gotta use a T45 to take this whole tensioner out, so we can get the bracket out of here. I looked it over. I was trying to find a way to get the bracket out, but I can't get it out. So they want to get a T45 for me because I don't have one. So we're gonna take this out. But for now, while I'm waiting for the T45 to come here, we're gonna remove the bolts that are in the water pump. Now, you don't want to lose track of this. This is an 8mm. So I think you have about, how many 8mm bolts? You got 1, 2, 3. You might have some in the back, but first I have to remove this tensioner. So while I'm waiting, I'm gonna remove those. And these are 13mm here. So what we're gonna do is remove this wire harness out of here. You see if you can see that wire harness. We're gonna remove this wire harness out of here, out of the way. All you have to do is just press it in. I'm gonna use this because it's a little hard. Press it and then bring it up. I'm gonna remove it out the way right now. Push it to the side. So what I'm gonna do, remove the 8mm first. Gonna be using 8mm to remove these. So we're gonna remove these. Just remember where they go at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get the other water pump. So while I'm taking them out, I'm gonna put the bowls where they go at. So when I remove one bowl, like I'm removing this one, I'm gonna put it here, then the other one like that, form a loose track. So you see you have another 8mm here, so you have a few. So let's take out the ones we can right now. Take this one out. Taking these out now while I'm waiting for the T45 to come. Okay. Nice and rusty in there. See, like I took that one, the 8mm, I'll put it exactly where it goes at. Where I took it out from, it's right there. You don't want to lose them. And you want to go with the next 8mm. Let's see where it's at. It's all the way in the bottom down here. You know what, let me remove this one. You probably can see this one better. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the 8mm out. Yes, sir, you found it? Thank you, sir. So the T45 is here. All right, thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
Let me give you a chance.
Okay, let me see. Exactly what I needed, a
T45.
45. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Nah,
you avoid me. You avoid me a headache, man.
Why you gotta close everything up?
Thank you. That's good. So there he goes. So we're removing the 8mm. Thank you. So we're removing all the 8mm. And once we remove all the 8mm, you're gonna remove the 13. This is a 13 here. Yeah. And when I'm using a 3/8 ratchet with a 13mm socket, and like I say, once you take them out, what you want to do is, look how rusty this thing is. Yeah. What you want to do is just put it right here for when you want to lose where they go at, because you see the different sizes on it. Let me see if you can see that. Oh, right there. When I took the 8mm out from, and now the 13mm socket, the 13mm bowl out of there. So I'm gonna take one more out. You see this one here looks a little different with this little peak over here. It's also a 13. I'll loosen it up. Take it out. And you see where it's at, right next to this little bar right here. So you come over here and you put it next to the bar right there. See that? Put it there. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm gonna do is, you know what, before I take the other ones out, we're gonna take that tensioner out. Okay, friends, my T45 came in. We're gonna take this tensioner out. It makes it much easier. Just put it right in there. And we're gonna just take the whole thing out. I'm just taking this out because I can't take the bracket out. There's probably another easy way to do it, but I couldn't find a way, so I'm just gonna take the whole thing out, the whole tensioner, and finish this job. There you go. Have my man over here go get it for me early in the morning over here. Okay, there he goes. Oh, the washer just fell off, so you gotta get that washer. So we're gonna find the washer somewhere. Did he fall down there on the floor? Did he? Yep. No, this is for this one. It's a small washer. All right. Just make sure you find that washer that goes in here. There's a washer that goes in here. Fell in there. We're gonna look. I want to continue with this job. So now, there goes the bowl that was giving me a hard time. Right there. Let me just show you. Just to take that bracket out. This little one right here is causing all the problems. So we're gonna take that out. That's the bracket. I'll take that out. I have to use a socket. Look at how easy it is, huh? Once I take that out. There it goes. This is the one that was giving me all the problem just to take that pump out. So what I used was a 13mm socket with a ratchet, 3/8 ratchet, and we took that out. Put it in the assembly line. A lot of work, huh? So now we're gonna start. You see how easy it is? Now we're gonna start removing everything we need to remove. Just remember where everything goes at. So we're gonna be removing the next one. We're gonna be removing. It's another 13mm over here. I'm gonna remove that. Sorry, I'm probably covering you. Another 13mm. There it goes. 1, 2, 3. So it should be the third one over here. And that's what it is. See the 13? The third one right there. Don't want to lose. So now, where we go next? Where we go next? Okay, this is a bracket, so look like we got another 13mm here. I'm gonna need a long one. You're gonna need a long socket. So let me continue for that one. So we're gonna remove this 8mm here. How you doing, sir?
Good.
So you see, we skipped one here because we need a deep socket for that one. So we're gonna put the 8mm where you got it from, and you continue doing that all around. Let me see. So what I'm gonna do, so you don't have to stay here so long, I'm gonna remove the 8mm that's here, this 8mm, and then when I get over here, that should be these two should be the last ones. These are 13s, and I need a deep socket for that, and I'll be right back. So here we go. We got the deep socket for this ones. All I have to do is just put it in, loosen it up. These are, see that? Probably gonna have to clean all. Look at this. Look at this.
Told you they fucking WD-40.
Yep. I'm gonna.
Before you put all them back in
Yeah.
there. At least you know the bolts will be nice and loose. You know what I'm saying?
Good. This should be the last one right here. We should be home base now. Okay. Here we go. Okay, this one goes here. I'll put it here. Oh, that one goes here, yeah. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Now, the next thing we got to do, just make sure the bolts. Oh, look at that.
Look how rusty that shit is.
All I did, sometimes you have to pry it out. I just pulled it out. It just came out easy, that easy.
You see that shit is kind of bent.
Yeah, it's bent and all that. See that? So the next thing we got to do, we just got to clean everything up and go from there. You see how easy that came out? So what we want to do is just dry everything up, clean everything. Take that excessive gasket out of there. Wow. Let me just clean it up a little bit and then keep going from there.
That's water hooked up?
Yeah, I put water on it. Oh. So what I'm gonna do is just clean the gasket. You wanna take all that gasket out. See how it's stuck in there? I'm gonna make sure everything is clean. Not now, I was. You have the old gasket in there, so you just want to take out as much as you can out of there. You can see it's really stuck in there. See? I'm going to be taking it out. It's best to use a blade, but be careful, don't cut yourself. You can see how it's stuck in there, so there you go, see that? So you want to do all that all around. See that? See if you can see that. See that? Took it out of here, so I'm just gonna take everything out and I'll be right back. So here goes the new pump right here. Goes the old one. And you notice how I put all the bolts and nuts on it. So now we have to remove them, but also they're all rusty. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean them with some brake cleaner. So what we're gonna do for now is just put them all, take them out, and put them right across like this. The reason why you're doing this, because you don't want to lose the sequence on them. So I'll go back. Put them all like this. So we're going to turn it. Make sure we clean this really good. It's already new. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some RTV. I don't have the black one, so I'm going to use this one. And what we're going to do, we're just going to put it all around. Not in the inside. We're going to pull it all around. Don't have to be much. Once you have put the RTV on it, what you want to do is put the gasket itself, and you just want to find that's right here. Take your time, make sure it's right on the hose, because you don't want it to move when you install it back in. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Maybe you hear a little bit down. Turn this right here a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one bowl at a time, and I'm gonna put this one first. So let's go back to the top and start installing this back on. Okay, my friend, this is where the fun part begins. Want to make sure everything is clean. Once everything is clean inside, use some brake cleaner to clean it. Make sure you scrape the rest out of it. Gonna grab your water pump. You want to make sure it goes in even. And be careful. This one first. Put one at a time, take your time. Put one on that side. You still there? Can you see that? And you just want to put another long one. One on one side, one on the other side. Make sure your gasket is good. Alright, let me see, you can see that. Just take your time installing them. Put this one here. You want to do a finger tight first. There you go. Put the 13mm bolts back. Want to do it finger tight first. I screwed in all the 8mm. And what I did was I screwed this one, then I went down here. I did like a star pattern, and some of the tents I already did. So you want to do the same thing. I mean with the, excuse me, with the 13 millimeters. You also want to do the same thing. And you don't want to go too tight because it's aluminum, and you sure don't want to strip it. Over there, and you just go to the one in the bottom. Not too tight. And go come up. Then that's what you want to do all around. So I'm gonna just go all back in, and I'll be right back. Now that we have put the water pump in, we're gonna put that bracket that's right here, that goes there. This is the bracket right here. And with this one goes on the bottom of it, right here. Right there, you tight. Screw it back in there, in the bottom. It's a 13 millimeter. Then this one goes right in here. Okay? You do it by hand. So this one in the bottom is a nut, and this one right here is the bowl. So you're gonna put it here. Then this is what's holding the AC compressor. That's what it looks like. So you want to screw that one back in. I think they are 13 millimeters. Let me make sure. They are 13 millimeters. Let me get my socket. I mean my ratchet. Like I said, you don't want to do it too hard because there's aluminum in there. That one there. And you want to hit the one in the bottom. I know you can't see it, but it's down there. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to connect the sensor we took out. Goes right here. Connect it in. Just clicks in. Okay. It's in. The next thing we want to do is connect these holes right in here. You know what? I should have. Okay. Should I put it to the bottom? Put it to the bottom. You just want to do it, just push it in. Push it right in. Okay. We want to bring these clamps down. Okay, that's right in there. That's connected. Make sure everything is connected in there. Okay, that's connected. Next thing we want to put is the tensioner. Don't forget, the tensioner has a washer on it, so you put this right in there, like this. See it? Then you put the washer, and you want to put it right in there. Hopefully you can see that. Let me see if you can see that in there, what I'm doing. I want to do it by hand first. It's a T45. I didn't have one. A friend of mine was walking around, stole me for a while, went and got it for me. T45. Okay. Your 3/8 ratchet. Make sure it goes all the way in. I don't know what the torque spec on it, but I'm just gonna do it hard enough. It won't get loose. Make sure everything is good in there. That sounds good. Okay, so that's good. So we took that out. You can see right here, this is also broken right there. This car's kind of old anyway. So that's in there. What is next? All right, gentlemen, tell me what is next. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what is next. Alternator, right? That's what it looks like? All right, let's move the alternator down. Okay. So what I did was, let me just do it again, because I didn't know you couldn't see. What I did was I took the alternator and I pushed it down, took the bowl, that goes in there, putting it with my hand first. Then don't forget this one. So it probably dropped. If it dropped on you, just gotta find, you gotta pick it up a little bit. Use a screwdriver. Just want to use something to pick it up. There you go. And it goes straight in. You don't want to strip it, so take your time. Pick it up a little bit. Use your 3mm. Don't forget to plug the harness on it. Right in. Push it in. That's it. Now what is next? Got the brackets, we got the bowls, we got the water pump, we got the tensioner. I'm gonna put the water pump one first. This can be a little tricky. Oops. Remember, it goes this way, not this way. So, just gotta see what it's at. I'm gonna put all four of them and I'll be right back. Once you do these by hand first, we're gonna do them by hand. Once you finish doing them by hand, you probably can do it a little bit, but you're gonna have to have the belt in order to tie them really good. And you just, yep. You can just probably just hold it. And then when you put the belt, you really can tie it up with the belt, screw them back in really good, really well. It's very tricky putting these on because these screws, they go straight to, these bolts go straight to the water pump. So now that we have put that in there, and we have put the tensioner, the next thing we want to put is the idler, and don't forget that it has a washer over here. And you're just gonna do, just put it right in. And I believe that's also a 15. Most of this job was 15s and 13s and 8. I'll make sure everything goes straight in. Okay, we almost home base. We almost home base. So I believe this one is a 15. Yep, it's a 15. That's it. Good, good. Okay. Make sure the one in the bottom is nice and tight too. Alright. Okay. What's next, my friends? What's next? Then we have to put the bracket here. Okay, my friends, you see what I did? This goes in here. I missed it. See it right there? So I put this in there without putting this first. This bracket has to go in. I'm not even going to edit. I'm going to leave it just like that so you can see what I did. So the bracket goes there. Hey. Should have told me. All right. So you see what I did, my friends? I connected, I put back the alternator without putting the bracket. So I make the mistakes, for you don't have to make the mistakes. So we're gonna put it now correctly. So first one we have to put is the one in the bottom, right? Put this in here, put the one in the bottom in. That music you hear is my neighbor. And then you gotta pick it up and put this bowl right in through here and through the alternator. Okay, there you go. There you go. So now mechanic make the mistakes, but you don't have to make the mistakes. Then you put the long one. Go in there. Putting a nut in there. Once you put those in there, I'm gonna put this one right in through here. Right in. Don't forget this goes in the bottom like this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna screw this one in, screw this one, and this one. Next thing we're gonna put is that belt, and this is the sequence. Don't make fun of my drawing. So it's gonna go to the alternator, to the water pump, to the tensioner, and then it's gonna go to the crankshaft, then to the AC if you have an AC, and then to the power steering, and then to the idler. And if you didn't have an AC, you could go from the crankshaft to the power steering right here like this. Okay? So this is how we're gonna do it. Alternator, water pump, tensioner, crankshaft, AC, power steering, and idler. Hopefully I can do a good job of showing you guys and girls how to put it. So I'm just gonna, so we're gonna put this belt together. And the first one I put was the alternator, right in the alternator right here. Then from the alternator, it goes to, when you need wind, from the alternator, it goes to the water pump that is down here. Okay, and then from the water pump, it's gonna go right here to the tensioner. So let's put it in the water pump first. Okay, I think I should put the tensioner last. Yeah, I'm gonna put the tensioner last. So from here, from the alternator, is go to the idler. And where's the idler? This is the idler right here. I'm hoping I got this correctly. To the idler. Then it's gonna go to the power steering. Okay, we got it good. Okay, so what I did was I went to the alternator. From the alternator, I went to the idler. From the idler, I went to the power steering. From the power steering, we're gonna go to the AC all the way in the bottom. You gotta make sure that it's right on the teeth. If not, it's gonna slip out. Then from the AC, we're gonna go to the crankshaft. The crankshaft. Crankshaft. Okay, yep, the crankshaft is next. The crankshaft is all the way in the bottom. So I'm gonna put it in the crankshaft, then the tensioner, and I'll be right back. Okay, what I did was you have to put the belt and the tensioner last because you have to turn it. So what I did was I went to the alternator first, then I went, excuse me. I did the power steering, then from the power steering, I went to the AC. Then from the AC, I went to the crankshaft. Then what I did was I put the idler, and then I put the tensioner last. And you gotta make sure that the teeth are right in. And all you do is the same thing you did. You take your 15 millimeter, and you go this way, and you go. And once you do that, you start putting the belt right in where it's supposed to be at. Okay, so make sure that all the teeth are where they're supposed to be at. So now don't forget that we have to tie the bows in the water pump because we just did it by hand. So now that it has the belt, we can tie them up, screw them back in a little tighter. Okay. All right. So now we did that. We got our belt in. Make sure you double check it again. Make sure all the teeth are in. Everything is in. Everything is plugged in. Now what we got is we got to put the reservoir. Got to do is, don't forget, got the hose here. Got this hose here. We got the other hose. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, there goes the other hole here. And don't forget the big one that's in the bottom. So don't forget that this right here goes right in there in that hole. Let me see if you can see that hole. So I'm gonna put the bottom hole first. This one could be tricky. What I'm doing is putting the hole in the reservoir. Okay. There's no room in here, so you just gotta push it in. Okay. So now, next thing is you gotta put this hose right in that thing right in there in that hole. Push it down. Put these holes in here. You know what? Let me put the clamp back down there. This hose goes in here. Okay. The clamp back. Okay. That's in there. I'm gonna put the one in the bottom, and I'll be right back, and I'll put this one, we put coolant, and we should be done. Now that you have put all your holes back, the clamps there, make sure you put your screw in here. This was a flathead screw right here. Don't forget that the one in the back here is broken, so we couldn't do nothing about that. The clamp is down there. So our next thing is fill it up with coolant. We're gonna fill it up with coolant first. While you're filling it up, you want to see if it's leaking or not. If you saw the video of when I did the diagnosing this car, how as soon as I put the antifreeze, how it started coming out from the bottom. But in this situation, it's not coming out. We got a new water pump, so we just want to fill it up. I don't know how much it takes. While you're filling it up, you want to make sure you look around to make sure if it's leaking or not. Look all around, make sure you look under the car to see if it's leaking. We don't see no leak. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish filling it up and I'll be right back. Once you have filled it up, make sure you check if there's any leak around. Make sure your belt is good. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna turn on the car and put the heater full blast. So here it goes. Here goes nothing. Let's see. So my friends, I'm not gonna bore you. I'm not gonna bore you with letting it run for a while in here. So it looks good. Nothing is leaking. It looks pretty good. Let me show nothing is loose in here. Everything is tight. You know what? This is gonna be a fun video to edit because this took me almost 2.5 hours to do. So I got to do a lot of editing on this. But I took a chance on doing this and it came out good. It's looking good so far. If anything goes wrong, what I would do, I would turn the camera back on and I would tell you what went wrong, but everything looks good on it. And like I always say, if non-mechanic can do it, you can do it. I don't know how much they charge for a job like this, but I think here in New York, some people charge like $90 an hour. Some of them $125 an hour. So if it took me 2.5 hours to 3 hours, just add that up, and then the part doesn't really cost nothing, but you can probably save yourself some money here. So once again, if non-mechanic can do it, you can do it. And if you have any comments or questions, post them down below or contact me at non-mechanic101 nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. That is nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. And don't forget to run it for a while to see if it overheats or not. Later.